Hello, this message is for the divine feminine. So I had two different dreams, two different channelings. The first one was more or less personal, and the second one was for the collective, for the group, but they both related simultaneously. So the first one was about I went to the place where I used to work, and I saw a lot of the females that was there while I worked, and I was like, you guys are still in the same place. And I felt kind of within myself like everybody's still not necessarily doing the same thing, but everybody is still the same way they were before I left. So it felt like only I had changed, or only I had grown, or only I had left. You know, it almost felt like if you were in a group setting at a job and everybody was in a group and you walked away, either you quit or you got fired, or you just decided I need something more, or I just want something else, or maybe you moved or relocated and then you go back to that place and everybody's still there. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's literally still there, but the vibe I got from it was everybody was still the same. Nothing was different but me. And that's neither good nor bad. It's just I was different. But the cool thing about it was when I went there, everybody still remembered me. And they was like, hey, so-and-so, how you been? And everybody was ready to talk to me. And it was one young lady who was like, I'm going to get a gift for you and you get a gift for me. And the other young lady started telling me her story, her life story. And I was looking at her like, why is she telling me these things? And I gave her my shoes because, I don't know, she lost her shoes somewhere, and I gave her my shoes. And it was so weird. I just took them off my feet and gave them to her. Then I saw another young lady who I was friends with, and we kind of got distant. And she was like, hey, she was like, give me a hug, because I like giving hugs. So she was like, give me a hug. And all of a sudden, me and her were FaceTiming, and she was telling me her story. And I remember her saying, you know, you don't have to explain. I don't want to explain everything. And I told her, well, you don't. She was like, no, I do want to tell you. I want to tell you everything that's going on. So it was like the females were still the same, and they remembered that they could always talk to me and tell me anything, because I was a person you could tell me anything. Just don't tell me nothing, negative. Don't tell me any drama or anything that would cause confusion or a raft. So that was the first dream, but it was more personal, so I kind of kept it to myself. But then the second dream I had a couple of days ago was about me sitting in a group setting. It's always groups, me sitting in a group setting, and the females there were kind of mean and saying little things. So they said they were going to go to the restroom together, and have a group setting. So I decided to myself, I'm not going to go in there with them, because I just feel like I don't want to go. And so they walked out left. I just felt like they were going to go in there and kind of try to bombard me, or, they were all friends. Not that I was an outsider, but I wasn't as close to everybody. You're not as close to everybody as everybody else is. You're just a friend of a friend. So you have one friend, but that friend is friends with everybody else. So it's like, automatically that you're going to be an outsider, or that they're going to have inside jokes that you're not privy to, just because that's the nature of it. And it was a high school setting, and they went. But, there was this one lady who said she was going to go too, but she came back. She came back early, and she said, I don't know why they in there talking and saying different things as if they look any better than anybody else. And she was looking at me. She was like, it's not like they look any better than you, or they're any better than you. I don't know why they do that. They just want to pick on people. And she was like, that's not even fair. And she started talking about them and pointing out their flaws and their mistakes. And I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh, why wouldn't you stay in there with them while they're talking about whoever? Because the way it was set up is as if they were talking about me, even though I didn't know them personally on a personal level, and we didn't have any differences. I didn't cuss them out. They didn't cuss me out. They just took it upon themselves to go and have a group setting about me. Or maybe because I didn't go to the bathroom. I can't explain why. But she came out of there and she sat down, and she was like I want to say she was like an older woman, but not too old, But she was mature, and her face was she was so angry. She was like, I don't know why they would take it upon themselves. And she started pointing out each one of their flaws and each one of their mistakes, just to say, baby, you shouldn't feel any type of way if they choose to do that to you, and you don't have to point out their flaws. I'll do it. It was like as if it was somebody who was realizing the situation, how the group of females was taking it upon themselves to say anything about me for whatever apparent reason, seeing as how we didn't have a difference at that point. We didn't have a difference. We didn't have a disagreement. They just decided to go somewhere that I didn't want to go. And then they took it upon themselves to say things about me. So basically, the first one I feel is about probably coming together with old friends, or maybe old friends missing you, as far as females, because I know when you're on this journey, you help a lot of women. For me, I help a lot of women, talk to a lot of women, whatever. They more so pour out their stories to me. We don't ever remain friends because, you know, they go and do different things that either I agree with or don't have. Either I agree or disagree, or don't have the time or the patience or whatever it is, the finances, the energy to do it with them. So we kind of separate, but when we are together, they kind of pour out. It's more of a emotional relationship for them. They're able to release whatever is bothering them, whatever they feel, you know, on a level of sisterhood with me. It's just like a sisterhood with me. But then the second dream was how it becomes you being on the outside of a group. So the whole thing was to say that for some people, you still have that sisterhood, and you don't know that females still look up to you and still want to have those conversations where you help them feel better. Because I know as a divine feminine, you heal a lot of people, even with your conversation, with the things you do, with the music you listen to, or however you do your healing. You just a healer. So when people come in your presence, they feel like pouring their stories out to you, their brokenness, their pain, even if it's just about their boyfriend, their sister, they feel comfortable doing it with you, and they don't feel that with anybody else. So the one lady who I was talking to, she just had so much to say, and I looked at her like, why would you tell me all this? But it's because they have no one else they feel comfortable telling it to, because you listen with an open ear, and because they know with you there is no judgment. At least there shouldn't be. Not saying that everyone else judges them. It's just when they come around you, it just feels like this is the place where I can pour it. I was about to say like home, like your presence is like home to people. It's like, you know, is where they pour out their emotions. You know, when you go home, when you travel, you go back home to mom, you're like, Mom, all this happened and this is that. Not that you're their mother, but they feel that homey presence within you, because it's like, I'm going to say like the heaven sent presence, where they feel like, okay, you're the next best thing to me going to pour this out to my mother or my preacher, whoever they look up to, you know, and then they could get it off their chest and walk away healed, you know, and you guys might not ever see each other again, but it's just they are able to walk away healed, and that's a gift that the divine feminine has, which is healing. So that was the first one. Even though it's personal, I feel like I should say it. So that's the first one. So it may be sisterhood coming back, or people that really miss you and remember how you made them feel in their presence at a time where you didn't even know. Because I was like, why would she tell me all this? And I hadn't seen her in so long. And there was one lady who's like, come on, we finna give each other a gift because I miss you. I want you to buy me a gift, and then I'm gonna buy you a gift. So it's different type of females that you have run across who miss that bond that you guys have, or who miss the fact that they could tell you any and everything, and it was okay. So they were like coming back. I woke up so happy. I was like, oh my gosh. It was like I felt like I was in that experience. And so then the dream after, and even if it doesn't happen, it's like almost like God letting you know that you don't know how you have touched some women along the way, even though it has been distant and you haven't been in a relationship with them. And so the second one was a different story. It was more so about being in a group and having a female group, like, you know, turn on you or think less of you or think differently of you because you are not like them or you don't want to do what they want to do. Well, it's this one woman who was right there, and she saw everything. So what the feminine needs to know is this is one woman who saw everything. It could be your mother, it could be your auntie, it could be your sister. She saw everything, and she sat right in front of me, and she didn't tell me that they were doing it, but she just kind of, the woman that it is, she's not going to tell you that somebody is doing it to you or has done it, but she's going to give you that. She might, but for me, she didn't tell me. She just said, you know what, I don't know why those women sit up there and do that. I don't know why they think they so much better. And, you know, because when you're an outsider, females automatically attack you because I don't know if they feel like they're better. They just attack you because it's like they may think you're weird, or they may think you're off, or they may think you don't know how to be a woman. They may think that you don't know how to do anything. They may just think you're just totally off the wall, and you can be very mature and reserved at times because, you know, I have responsibilities. I have a duty to God. I have a duty to my work, to my children, to whoever it is you have a duty to, you know that. So some things you just don't do and you don't feel compelled to do. And then sometimes you're just afraid because you know situations have led you astray. People have taken advantage of you, like the healing. They take advantage of that and they leave and they never give you back your energy, or they never give you back that love that you give them. So this one woman was sitting there, and it could be your grandma, it could be, she said, you know what, I don't know why these people do that. I don't know why they doing it. And she pointed out every one of their flaws and mistakes, and she was telling me. And basically it's somebody around you, a woman who knows that you have been in a position you have been in when it comes to other women. So it might be two different feminines, okay? It might be one group who people, your sisterhood people, want you back, or they want to be around you again for the healing that you give them. And then there's another group that maybe it's some people that have ostracized you, and it's a woman right there, she's about to come tell you. I don't know if she's going to tell you, or maybe she might visit you in your dream, or maybe it might be a grandmother or somebody who passed away, I don't know, but she has seen the struggle and seen how women have ostracized you, and she's coming to tell you, listen, I don't know why they do that to you, but I know her dirty secrets, I know her dirty draws. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, there's someone at the door. I know her dirty secrets, I know her dirty jobs, I know everything. So they have no right to make you feel any less of a woman than them. So it could be one, you could be both. It could be both, because I had both dreams and I feel like I was a part of both groups. So you could be a part of both groups, or it just could be one said a part of this group and one said a part of that group. So take it as you will, but it is somebody right there who knows that, you know, you're no different or no less or no more. Not that you want to be more, but you're equal to every woman. If people try to threaten you or intimidate you or belittle you because of the difference that you are, the difference that you make, understand that it is somebody, because sometimes we feel like nobody gets us unless they are another part of the feminine collective. But it's people outside of it, because everybody's feminine, but it's people outside of that who are just as compelled to help you get to where you are as well, who are just as admired by who you are, and will respect you for who you are and not try to take from you or make you feel weird because you feel that way about yourself as somebody, right? Because sometimes it's hard for the women to band with the divine feminine unless they are one, or to understand them because of the way they see life, or because of the different gifts and talents that they have. It's almost like, you know, because it's a deeper understanding, and people don't ever go that deep, you know, even though women and feminines are deep. Some of them don't go that deep because, you know, it's a lot of emotional strength that is required to go that deep, even into your own sins, your own darkness, your own fears is a lot. And if you're not prepared for that and not strong enough to deal with it, you'll just be like, okay, this happened, move on. As the feminine, you have to say this happened, but what was the reason, what was the lesson, what was the understanding that I needed to develop? And then it's part of your gifts, your psyche, your gifts that are supernatural, those things that people don't understand. So it makes you feel weird and ostracized, and people are like, no, you don't have that, no, you don't, you know. So it's this one woman there who was like, man, I don't know. And she was just like so cool to the point where it was like she wasn't even trying to be spiritual, she wasn't trying to be religious, she was just stern and firm and just straight up like, listen, them girls don't have, you know, they don't have the right to say the things they say about you. They don't have the audacity. I can't believe they had the audacity, because we all are equal, we all are made in God's image, whether you divine, feminine, masculine, whether you anything, we all are made in God's images, but we all have different places in society. We all have different roles, and we have to maintain our roles. We have to maintain our integrity. We are here to play an important role in society, but no one should make us feel bad about that, because we don't make them feel bad about their role that they play, but they choose to go in groups and settings and different things like that, and just like I would say demoralize us. I don't know if that's a word. Destabilize us. Just, you know, just defile us, our character and who we are, just because we do one thing. That's all. It was just one thing. I just didn't want to go to the bathroom with them, because, like, literally, I don't think I had to use it, and literally, I didn't want to go in there and hear. You know, when you go into the bathrooms with a bunch of girls, it's gossip. It's about who they screwed, or who they, what man they like, or what man they want to get on. You know, they take shots, and you don't understand the shots because it's an inside joke, because you're not a part of it. So it was like, I don't want to go and be a part of, you know, that situation. And she went in there, and for some reason she came back quicker than everybody else, and she was like, so they must was in there, you know, talking about me. And she didn't tell me that, but she was like, these people, you know, they have no right to do that to you. And that's all she said. So I just want you guys to know that Hopefully you understand. Just know that somebody is there. It's a woman who sees everything that you're going through. It could be your mom. Like I said, it could be anybody in your life. She sees and she understands the difference between the females ganging up on you and you being like a solo cruiser, a solo rider. And the other part is the women that you have touched and affected along the way, they do miss you. They do miss you because sometimes we feel like we done did all this or helped all these different people. It could be women or men, but we never see them again and we never know how they feel. But they don't feel any ways about you. They actually miss your presence. And if they could find you, if you were to go back into those places, you will see how everything is back to normal. Because it was like nobody moved. Everybody stayed the same. Only I moved. So when I was able to go back, it was like, man, where have you? They just start talking to me. You know, you meet those people. They start talking to you like you never left. And you're like, oh my gosh, I did leave. And then I woke up like, why did I leave? They still are, you know, I was like, why did I leave? I should have stayed. But you know, you have to grow and you have to move on with your life and you have to help other people. You know, once you have helped this part of the journey or have you've learned your lesson on this part, you have to continue to grow and expand. So that was the channeling that I got. Hopefully you understand. Hopefully you relate to it. You know, if not, you know, at least you got an understanding. Maybe you're closer to getting to that path or maybe you just got away from that path. I don't know. But that was a channeling that I got. I hope you have a good one. If I have another one, I'll be sure to share.